The 847th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a free Refs or Terrorist t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs.
Heidi ho, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode we just talked about 837. I think we decided it was 847, 837. Gumby, what episode is it?
47, I want to say.
847, because I'm sure someone out there is keeping track. 847 is correct. 847 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. Thank you for ignoring your children and spending it with us talking about LFA 211. That is true degenerate behavior there. So we applaud you. I am Kaiser Del Bosto, aka Jeff Fox. My fellow father, Daniel Gumby Vreeland, had himself a good. I don't know. Do you want to brag about your PFL right now, or you want to wait?
I'll brag about PFL and LFA.
Okay.
So
That's right,
at the
LFA
time of recording, we'll peel the curtain back a little bit. The time of recording this, we haven't gotten to Octagon or KSW yet. So we're recording this the day before Father's Day, so we can enjoy our families even if you don't want to. And so at PFL, we had one cancellation. We went 7-2, including hitting underdog Thad Gene in the main event.
Yep.
And underdog Kendley St. Louis, who was up to plus 270 at fight time, which is a pretty nice dog hit as well. And then we completely cleaned the board at LFA. Again, one more cancellation, but we went 4-0, including hitting underdog Mac Judo, who won by. Did you see that fight by chance?
No.
She won after judo tossing her opponent and putting her in a scarf hold key lock, which is very judo-esque behavior. So loved seeing her. I mean, she got smashed in the first round, but loved seeing her come from behind, pick up the win for us. Everybody else looked good. Overall, that means in those two, we were, I believe that puts us at 11-2 to start the weekend. We still got 10 more of our fights to go, although there was a cancellation too on Octagon, so there'll be one less on that one. 9 more fights to go, but at the current moment, we're up 6 units on the weekend. So it's been a good one.
It's like 26.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's why everyone loves Gumby. And that's why you are all tuning in now, because we got LFA to cover, which is, as Gumby said, one of the promotions that he does well on, or at least he did well at LFA 210. Hopefully
I'm pretty, LFA is my sweet spot. That's I think the promotion I regularly have the best days in. So I slip up once in a while on PFL, but not like this week. So
no. And then Aries drags the average down.
We're never doing Aries ever again.
No, never doing Aries again. All right, you can get all your free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series, and NBA Finals on the SGPN app. Get it wherever you get your apps. Now you're going to get some LFA into your orifices. LFA 211 Mesquita versus Dinwoodie is going down this coming Friday the 20th. Salamanca, New York. Where's Salamanca, New York? I think it's kind of up in my neck of the woods, right?
Yeah, it's like Buffalo-esque.
Yeah. Is that the Seneca? Yeah, Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino. So it's upstate New York, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern start time. 12 bouts in a cage. Sadly, there's no moats or anything interesting. It's just a cage. 9 p.m. start time, so a later start time. We're going to kick off, 5 out of the 6 top fights in the card we're going to cover, according to Tapology at least. And we're kicking things off with one of my favorite nicknames, perhaps my favorite nickname, JaCobi Jones. JaCobi Jones versus Shovkhal Churchaev. Shovkhal Churchaev from Russia versus Mr. Toe, JaCobi Jones from the United States. No odds have dropped yet for this event, so Gumby will give you his best guesstimates. Churchaev is 6-2, 3 knockouts, 1 submission, never been finished in a fight, 1-0 in LFA, 3-1 over his last 4. He won his last bout. He's a regional champ. He's fed at 170, 3-0 in boxing and the champion there professionally. 4 years younger than Jones, 4 inches taller. Jones's nickname is Big Toe. Do we know why? I don't think we do. Do we?
Still no.
Well, you got to have him on your other show, Top Turtle MMA, and then we will find out. Big Toe is 7-3, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been submitted twice, 7-2 in LFA. The former champion. You don't get a lot of former champions fighting still in LFA. Usually they're former champions.
He got his Contender Series shot, and it didn't work out. So
who did he lose to? 0-1 in Contender Series. He lost to
Daniel James Allen, who is that guy who was only 4-0 and beat Big Toe. And then Dana White said he didn't want any 5-0 30-year-olds, which is weird because he signed a 5-0 30-year-old to fight on Dana White's Contender Series.
Yeah, exactly. It just Dana does not know what's going on with Contender Series. He just shows up. We're lucky he shows up, but pretty soon he's going to send one of the matchmakers is going to show up instead of him only. All right, so he former LFA champ for Jones, 1-2 over his last 3, 4-2 over his last 6. TKO win in his last bout, and as we said, 0-1 in Contender Series. And then Gumby's going to tell you who's going to win and what the odds are going to be.
So I think the odds will be close because obviously Jones being the former champ, being on Contender Series, that usually weighs pretty heavily on the books. But also, like, he's fighting a Russian guy with a pretty good looking record. So as a result, like, I think the books will bring it down close to even. I'm going to say Big Toe still winds up being a favorite here. My guess is like the negative 140 range would be where I would probably place this. And, you know, if it stays close, I like JaCobi Jones here. You know, I went back and I watched some Churchaev because I wasn't super familiar with his game. But, like, what you could see a lot of is, you know, he's clearly, like, of the striking kin when it comes to being a Russian in MMA, you know, but he likes a lot of the spinning stuff. He likes a lot of high-risk kind of stuff. And at the same time, while he likes that stuff moving forward, if he's pressured, he seems sort of out of his element. Like when somebody backs him up, maybe it's because he doesn't have the room to spin or doesn't have the room to throw those high kicks or, you know, doesn't have the room for the stuff that he likes to do. So when you crowd him, he looks like he's just trying to get out of there all the time. And I've seen him kind of try to wrestle his way out of being cornered against the cage, which is not a really good idea. Like I've seen it work for him, but it's not a good idea against somebody who's a little bit higher level, right? Because you're going to be like that. You don't have your best shot moving backwards. You don't have your best shot back against the cage. So for me, I think Churchaev does a lot of things that are kind of questionable, particularly when he's pressured. And one of the things you'll note about JaCobi Jones pretty much in all of his fights is that he brings the pressure. Like he comes forward. He's not afraid to get hit. I think in this one, you're going to see him crowd Churchaev kind of early. You know, Jones has got halfway decent takedown defense. Obviously, it didn't show when he was on Contender Series because he kind of got out wrestled by Daniel James Allen. But, you know, I think he's got good enough takedown defense to touch Churchaev, particularly if he's backing him up. And then outside of that, he's got good power. Nice little 1-2 should be able to chip away at him. So give me JaCobi Jones here.
All right. You got him. You got Big Toe. All right. We are moving on down. Couple weight classes. Bantamweight. Lucas Seibert, United States. Gustavo Kruger from Brazil. 3 5-minute rounds, 135. Tell you about Kruger first. Dimenor is the nickname. Dimenor, which means smaller. 4-0, 1 knockout, 2 submissions. He's not fought since August 2018. That's all I got for him. A short resume, and he's not fought recently. I'm sure Gumby knows all about him though somehow. There you go. Another 4-0 fighter called Steel City. Is he from Pittsburgh? I forgot to check that.
Yes, yeah. And he used to fight for 24/7 too, which is the promotion out of Pittsburgh. Yeah.
All right, so Steel City. Seibert is 4-0 with 2 knockouts. This is his LFA debut. Oh, it's Kruger's debut too, as well, as far as I know. Used to fight at 145. 3-0 as a pro grappler. 7 years younger than Kruger.
Yeah, Kruger's only fought on the Brazilian regional scene in like promotions that don't have names, which is why I think. And Seibert comes from a wrestling background. I want to say he wrestled at West Virginia. And so Seibert is going to be the big favorite here. My guess is like negative 500 kind of range. Because when you see these Brazilians show up with, you know, a 7-year gap in their resume and only 4 wins, you typically don't see a very playable line. But get this, I'm going to take Gustavo Kruger. 7-year layoff, don't care. Think it's worth the roll. So I got some film on him, which was really hard to get because it's only like grainy footage from like the favelas of Brazil, basically, is like where he's fighting. But he's got really sharp hands. Like his hands move very, very, very quickly. All of his wins, well, all but one win is by finish. And it's like, there's some ground and pound in there. There's some really nice jiu-jitsu in there. So like, I kind of like his wrestling game. I kind of like his jiu-jitsu. And then on top of that too, part of the layoff was, first of all, pandemic, killed a lot of people's career for a while. And then he worked on moving to the United States so that he could train with people up here. And who he's training with is Teixeira's team. Polino Cruz or out of Connecticut. And so like, that's the boxing he's got right there. He's working with Alex Pajeda and gang. And then for jiu-jitsu, he kicks it over to New York and works in the Blue Basement with Renzo Gracie. So like, you know, he has found a way to train in like two of the best places you possibly can for what he does. And, you know, from all of the film I've seen on him, you know, even just training, like, you know, 7 years ago film is only so good, right? But all the film I've seen him on training, he's got sharp hands. I think he can work on the ground game. And, you know, I went back and I watched Seibert because he's got a good record too. And he came from 24/7, which is a pretty good promotion. They've got a main event coming up, by the way, with Kama Worthy versus Violent Bob Ross.
Nice.
Which is, although I think Violent Bob Ross is in a lot of legal trouble, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe that's not nice. Or maybe root for Kama Worthy. I went back and I watched Seibert's fight for that promotion. And, you know, he is a good wrestler, but it doesn't seem like he ever wants to use it. He like wants to be flashy on the feet, and he kind of only uses it when he like has run out of ideas. And I think if he does that, it's more like it's not a panic shock, right? Because it's not him being hit and panicking, but it's him like, okay, well, none of that weird spinny stuff or that head kick I just threw from 6 inches away from his body works. So now I'll just dive on his legs. And it's like not set up really well. There's not like good integration between his clearly good wrestling and his like figuring it out striking. And as a result, like if you don't have good integration between those two things, somebody who's got good sub skills or somebody who's going to stuff you and be sharper in, you know, he's just more, I think Kruger's going to be more technical on the feet here because he's just straightforward in what I've seen from his striking. You know, it's 1-2 down the middle. It's keep your hands up and move forward. It's, you know, don't take steps backwards if you can help it. And then, like, on top of that, like, we've seen his jiu-jitsu play up, right? He's got 2 out of 4 of his wins by submission. He's got some ground and pound in there. So I think he's going to even defend the takedown Seibert brings. And I think he's going to be tough on the feet. And I think because of the 7-year layoff and the fact that he's only 4-0 fighting in nowhere Brazil, I think we're going to get a great number on him.
Yeah, 6% of topologists are in on him. So hopefully that means
it.
What's your prediction for the number? I think you said minus.
I think like 400. I think you might say plus 400 next to Kruger.
Okay. Very nice. All right, Kruger, it is. Before we dive into maybe some more underdogs, we'll have to wait and see. Edge Boost time. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, and 100% approval for all betting deposits. So sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. And it's last week to sign up and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt. And we got Circa's Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway going on right now. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. You get a limo ride from the airport, a $5,000 tab for a stadium swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. And you can always get 15% off at all the Circa properties with promo code SGP15. So enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. At sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. All right, back to the LFA, back to the New York. And we are moving on up the card as we like to do. We are going to scrolling here, a female strawweight belt. Yeah. 2 out of the next 3 belts are female belts. GiGi Canuto from Brazil. Flor Hernandez. She is from Mexico. They're fighting, yes, I said, a strawweight 3 5-minute rounds. Let's break her down by telling you about Hernandez first. Compine is the nickname. Compete, that translates to. She's 4-2, 1 knockout, 1 submission. Never been finished in a fight. This is her LFA debut. She's lost 2 straight fights. She's not won since February 2023. She went 0-2 in Invicta. Used to fight at atomweight. 0-1 in pro Muay Thai. 4 inches of reach over Canuto. Canuto is diamond. 5-1, 1 knockout, 3 submissions. Never been finished in a fight herself. All her fights are taking place in LFA. TKO win in her last bout. 1-0 as a pro grappler.
Yeah, so I think Canuto like negative 250, maybe up to 275 here is my guess. And it's GiGi Canuto all day here. Now, I do have reservations on her as a prospect in general. Like, I think on one hand, her grappling's great. Like, when she hits a double leg and she's on top, good control, smart, sharp jiu-jitsu, good submission skills. You know, I haven't really seen her fight somebody who can like really fend off her takedown attempts. Like, I think her best opponent was like maybe Hope Chase. And I think she like defended 1 in the beginning of the second round, but then like wound up getting beat up on the mat anyway. So, Yeah, GiGi Canuto is really sharp when it comes to the jiu-jitsu. Now, in that Hope Chase fight, she got tagged quite a bit on the feet, and that's where my reservation for her as a prospect comes in. Like, she clearly has some jiu-jitsu and just, like, kind of hasn't let everything round out yet. No, it wasn't her that fought Hope Chase. It was Bia Mesquita. Now I'm missing up her and Bia Mesquita.
Yeah.
Damn it. And Bia Mesquita fought Sierra Dinwoodie, too. Oh, man. But, so whoever Canuto fought definitely tagged her a whole bunch of times in the second round. I remember watching it. And, like, the problem with Canuto getting tagged all the time, too, is that, like, when she does, she kind of just bites down on her mouthpiece and throws bigger. And that's, like, maybe that's fine to, like, fend off a big attack. But, like, at the end of the day, you have to be able to blend your striking with your grappling. It's the same thing I was saying before about Seibert not being able to do it. Granted, she's got a little bit more leeway because she's fighting strawweights who have less experience or on 2-fight losing streaks. And I think she'll round out better overall. But, like, that's my reservation for her. And then Flor Hernandez, like, I like Flor Hernandez. She's got kind of nice hands. But I think she's got less than a 0% chance of staying on her feet against GiGi Canuto because, as you mentioned, she was an atomweight, right?
Yeah.
And her last atomweight fight was against Ana Palacios. And you know me, I love Ana Palacios. I love her queen. But Ana Palacios' best part of her game is her striking. And Ana Palacios took down Flor Hernandez enough to win a decision at an atomweight fight. So now she's going to be fighting somebody with high-level jiu-jitsu, good wrestling, all that kind of stuff. GiGi Canuto takes her down and beats her up the whole time. Give me Canuto.
And Canuto's jacked. You forgot to mention that. At least according to your Tapology picture, she's got massive arms.
She's pretty buff. Yeah.
GiGi Canuto. But she might get tired out because she has muscles. That's the way it goes.
I haven't noticed cardio issues on her when I've watched in the past. Like,
maybe she's not jacked then.
Her cardio seems fine. Yeah, she's not muscly enough. If she's
not muscly enough. Not getting tired. All right. Let's go to our did we get in? Yeah, minus 250 you said. All right. We are going to our co-main event. Phumi, Nkuta, Cody, Davis, both from the United States of America. They're fighting at flyweight, which should be fun. Davis is 10-2, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once, 6-2 in LFA. He's another former champ. It's a very rarity. We have 2 former LFA champs on the card. Usually, once you win the LFA championship, you are gone. He's won 2 straight in 5-6. TKO win in his last bout, 2 inches reach over. Nkuta, who is nicknamed Turbo, 9-0, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. 1-0 in LFA, 1-0 in Bellator, multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirt, get our merch, get all the good stuff at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, and get sticky while you're at it. Used to fight at 135, 10-1-1 in grappling, and the champion, 2 inches of height over Davis.
So I have, and I'm actually going to say this about both of the last 2 fights. I think all 4 of these fighters could be in the UFC or be Contender Series signees. This is a really good card for that right here. I've been, sitting there saying it's time for the UFC to sign Phumi Nkuta for a really, really, really long time. Like, I mean, he retired at one point because he got sick of it and went and wrestled. He actually wrestled Matt Riddle in a.
This is the pro wrestling guy, right?
Yeah, okay. Pro wrestling guy. He main evented in LFA not that long ago. So anyway, I've been a huge, supporter of Phumi Nkuta, and I'm not going to pick him here. That's how crazy this is. I'm going to take Cody Davis. I think you're going to get him almost at 2-1. We'll say like plus 180 or something like that. I think he's a bad matchup for Phumi Nkuta. If you watch Nkuta from the striking realm, he's got quick hands, as you would imagine a lot of flyweights do. He switches stances pretty frequently. But I've noticed when he's trying to land, he gets just like a little bit too long in the strikes he's throwing. Sarah Longo, not always known for having guys with amazing kickboxing. He's probably one of the better ones. But it's like when he wants to let go, even when that guy's not in range, he just kind of overextends himself, kind of the same way Aljamain Sterling did when he got himself knocked out. Like when he got knocked out by Sean O'Malley. That was the biggest problem there. So I think Phumi does a similar thing here when it comes to that. And then in addition to that, too, Phumi likes to fall back on his wrestling. He likes to use his wrestling as a big piece of his game to take over. And Cody Davis is a better wrestler. Cody Davis is maybe one of the best flyweight wrestlers you're going to run into outside of like the couple of people who beat him, who was like Eduardo Chapelin, who's on Tough right now. So I think Cody Davis is going to be the better wrestler in this one. And then from the striking realm on Cody Davis's side, like he's not bad. Like he's not he's not Eduardo Chapelin, but he's not a bad striker. And I think the fact that he knows he's not like an expert striker and stays extra technical and extra within himself, I actually think that plays up against Phumi. Because like if he stays really safe and true himself the whole time, when Phumi starts to overextend himself, that's just going to open up shots for Davis to start feeling comfortable and or possibly to hit his takedowns. And then, one last thing about the wrestling, like if you watch Cody Davis, really diverse in his wrestling strikes, good double, good single, great head pressure up against the cage. He's got some of those like Henry Cejudo-esque inside trips. And Phumi Nkuta is like, at least in his last fight, heavily relies on the single leg, like real heavily relies on the single leg. And I just don't think that plays up. So give me Cody Davis here. Can't believe I'm picking against Phumi Nkuta right now, but give me Cody Davis, close to 2-1.
He's 9% on Tapology. So
man, if I can get a better number than plus 175 on Cody Davis, man, sign me up for that.
Well, I cannot back this pick because I faded all the Codys at the UFC this past weekend. So
we don't know if that worked yet, though.
I know, but it'll work. Everything, all my picks always work. So I am officially anti-Cody. I didn't realize it was until it actually happened. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm an anti-Cody person. So, team anti-Cody all the way. All right, Davis is the pick, plus 180. We got a Canadian in the main event. We'll get to that in a sec after I tell you about Underdog Fantasy because it is time for Gumby's bonus Underdog pick and play. Underdog is going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus, hop in game one, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. So if you're going to hop in game one, you're going to have to get a time machine. And if you have a time machine, let us know because I'm very interested in that. All right, Gumby, you got to play.
Yeah. So, you said the series was going short, by the way.
Yes.
I want to remind you.
Pacers have won one or two more games than I would have expected.
Yes.
I gave him one. I gave him one game. So anyway.
Well, I got a series future. So
okay,
yeah. I'm sitting on that still. But in this one, we're going to talk about Chet Holmgren because I always like talking about Chet Holmgren. However, I'm going to get a little negative on you here. I'm going to take the lower than on Chet Holmgren's blocks and steals. They've got the blocks and steals combination projection here, and they've got it set 2.5. He's been lower than that in all 4 games. In fact, he only had 1 block, no steals, 1 block, no steals, 1 steal, no blocks in the first 3 games. Now, he got 1 of each in game 4, but that's still lower than 2.5. And they just seem to not be attacking him at the rim and challenging him at the rim. So give props to the Pacers for staying away from him and get in on the lower than on Chet Holmgren's blocks and steals.
Well, we call those stocks in the business. So lower than the 2.5 stocks for Mr. Holmgren. All right, take that and sign up with the code MMASGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. You have heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a striker prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed trends. Download the Rhythm app. Check out Power Trends and start betting smarter. We will. Gumby is always finding cool things on Power Trends, usually baseball related, right?
Yeah, usually baseball related, but where do you think I got my Chet Holmgren information? You got to get it on Power Trends.
Yep. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM. And we are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup. Hurry, though. They could be over fairly soon. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. You can check out all the LFA lines we're talking about today over there as well. And when you do head to mybookie.ag, use our promo code MMASGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And we are going to the main event now. It is for a belt. LFA vacant Bantamweight Championship. Gumby, who was the champ before?
Oh, who is the Bantamweight champion?
You don't know this one, eh?
No, I don't. I'll look it up. I'll put the intern on it while you're going.
All right. We got Beatrice Mesquita. It's not really her name. What's her real name? Her real name is, I'm sure it's really long. Beatrice de Oliveira Mesquita is the full name versus Sierra Dinwoodie from Canada. Hooray. Other side of the world for me, basically. BC, but still. She's Canadian nonetheless. 5-minute rounds for the belt. Dinwoodie, 4-0, 1 knockout, 1 submission, 2-0 in LFA. Used to fight at 145, 4 years younger than Mesquita, 7 inches taller, 5 inches of reach. So all those in her favor. Mesquita is BIA, 4-0 with 3 submissions, 3-0 in LFA, 28-8 as a grappler, a 10-time world champion in that realm. What you find out first, Gumby? Anything?
Oh yeah, this is why I didn't know. It's been 2 years since they've had a women's bantamweight bout. It was Jackie Cavalcante, who's now like 4-0 in the UFC or something like that. Like, man, that's it's been a minute since they've had a bantamweight title fight. Bia Mesquita is going to be like negative 400. I'm a little bit hesitant if it gets that high, but I'm still taking her to win here. I really like Sierra Dinwoodie. I've been a fan of hers since she actually proved me wrong. This is going back to actually the Hope Chase fight, not the one I had imagined. Who did Canuto fight that reminds me of Hope Chase, though? I definitely watched too many Hope Chase fights getting ready for this podcast. But when I watched Sierra Dinwoodie beat her, I was in on Hope Chase. I was a big fan of Hope Chase, and like Dinwoodie absolutely took it to her, and I was like, man, this is a prospect. But then like Bia Mesquita fought Hope Chase too, and just like beat her so much worse. And MMA math doesn't work, but like when you watch what Dinwoodie had trouble with Hope Chase, is that first of all, Dinwoodie is going to be in the clinch constantly. She is really, really, really tall for the weight class, loves to work the Muay Thai clinch, loves to throw knees. She's got a little bit of wrestling in there, but she puts herself in a clinch a lot, and that can put her in bad positions when it comes to wrestling. And then on the other side, Bia Mesquita, all she wants to do is be in a clinch and wrestle with you. I mentioned before, and I'm going to keep comparing her to GiGi Canuto because I messed them up when I talked about them the first time, because they are very similar. Like GiGi Canuto is like a straw weight version of Bia Mesquita, who is like a touch less refined, because Bia Mesquita doesn't just slug it out when she has trouble with the takedowns, or doesn't just slug it out when she gets hit. In fact, she just like resets and looks for her next takedown. And her jiu-jitsu is much sharper than Canuto's. Like, it's good. Like, Canuto's is good. Canuto holds somebody down, has good jiu-jitsu, has good back kicks. Bia Mesquita will be on your back without you even realizing you've gotten into the fight yet. And that's what I worry about for Dinwoodie here. Like, if you are going to be the type of person who clashes into the clinch because that's where you like to fight all the time, you can't be doing that against Bia Mesquita. You have to be poking and prodding from the outside, especially with the reach she's got, right? If I'm Dinwoodie here, I'm throwing 800 low calf kicks, I'm poking her with a jab, and I'm getting the hell away from her the whole time. And like, I don't think she'll do that, because in her core, like even if she goes in with that as a game plan, at her core, the type of fighter she is get into the clinch and throw my knees. Not going to work against Bia Mesquita. I think Mesquita takes her down. I think she subs her. You'll see Bia Mesquita on Contender Series, if not this year, next year.
91% agree with you, Gumby.
Yeah,
so
and like, and I want to say this too, because I just said, I'm definitely taking Mesquita. Dinwoodie is good. Like, she's gotten up, and a lot of the time she's been taken down. If she does manage to like tire Mesquita out or force her to fight a striking fight, like, she's got a good chance there. So like, if Mesquita is like, I think negative 400, negative 450 in that realm, that's not interesting to me. Like, that to me is like a stay away from that for sure. But I mean, like, if you can get it manageable, or maybe you can get a sub prop on Mesquita, like, I think that's the way to probably play this one.
All right, don't you people go away yet. We're gonna have some more plays for you after I give you a recap. He's got Mesquita, he's got Davis, hopefully as a big dog. He has got Canuto, he has got Kruger as an even bigger dog, hopefully.
That's one of the weirdest picks we've made.
And he's got Jones. All right, lightning rounds. That bang boom pow Gumby. What do you have for the people? Lots to choose from here.
Yeah, I got 2 written down here. I'm going to go with Jake Woodley. I actually faded him last time. I took Romero, who is a similar prospect with a similar profile, and I was like, I think he's just a better version. So Jake Woodley kind of got his prospect loss out of the way last time. He's 4-1, got a lot of good skills, like really tough wrestler kind of guy. And he's going to be fighting David Gladfelter, who once was a pretty decent prospect, especially in amateurs. Like, I want to say he fought for Cowboy Fight Series when that was a thing for like 5 events, and had all of the best amateurs in the world in it. And so like, he was kind of like a fun prospect that people were keeping an eye on. That's kind of faded away. He's up a weight class now. I think you watch Woodley just absolutely steamroll him. And then another one I like is Cedric Katwambla. This guy, I was really high on him out the gate. He's a very fun kickboxer. And I think we're going to get a great line on Katwambla, but because if you watched him fight, first of all, like I said, fun kickboxer from range. He's going to be fighting a guy with a Russian name. And that to me, first of all, I think the books are going to be like Russian guy versus kickboxer. Obviously take the Russian guy, right? But the Russian guy he's fighting is also a kickboxer. And one who I don't think is as good as Katambwa. So I'm going to take Cedric Catombois and Woodley as well. And those will be my 2 lightning round plays.
All right, you're all set. You can get more plays in the Discord because you people all want plays for every fight in the card. I know. Some of you weirdos do. We are at where are we at? The Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We are at the old YouTube, obviously. Hit us up in the comment section, MMA Gambling Podcast, and on Twitter. Our friend MMA Upside has tracked us down on Twitter, so the world will never
down. He's always been there. With
okay,
me.
Good.
Yeah,
the world will never be the same for me now. My world's been turned upside down. So at SGPN MMA is our account there. Gumby runs. He's at Gumby Reelan. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there and on Instagram. Check out my Substack, moneymma.substack.com. Check out Gumby's other podcasts, what we refer to often, Top Turtle MMA. It's too early to know what's going to be happening this coming week. It's going to be some Contender Series.
I know we got some Contender Series guys. I'm trying to iron out some other guests too. I'm about to interview literally right after we're done this. I got another Contender Series guy on the horn, including the Contender Series guy I'm about to talk to. We picked against on this show, and he later tripped us on YouTube. So stay tuned for that one.
Yep. So check that out. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for some bonus content. We'll be back tomorrow. We got back-to-back PFL breakdowns for you starting tomorrow. It will be me, Diamond, Jeff Fox, Big Toe, Gummy Vreeland will come along as well. And we'll talk to you then. Bye.